What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. All right, y'all, so first of all, I know it's been a minute since I posted a video. Like, I feel like every time I make a video I say I'm gonna be consistent and then I don't be consistent. Like, girl, but I'm trying. Like, I'm trying, y'all. Like, bear with me, please bear with me. Like, I'm really trying to like be more consistent. I think now that I have like all of the things that I need, I should definitely be more consistent. Like, I got a camera, I just got a new iPad because I edit all my videos on my iPad, but my old iPad only had like 64 gigs and it was so hard to like edit and upload on there because I didn't have enough storage, so I wasn't able to really post like longer videos. But now I can, and I got a camera now, no more filming on my phone. Like, yes. So today's video is going to be me talking about the truth about Towson University. So this is going to be for all of my, you know, high school seniors getting ready to go to college, or just anybody thinking about attending Towson. This video is for you. I'm gonna be spilling all the tea and just telling y'all everything you need to know before going. And this is just like me sharing like my experience going there and just helping y'all out. So I will be splitting everything up into categories, so I'll put the timestamps in the description for you guys to make it a little bit easier in case there's just something you want to skip to. So I have a list on my phone of questions and things that I'm going to be answering, so let's just go ahead and get started in the video. So before we get into the questions, I'm gonna kind of talk about like my experience at Towson. So I went to Towson my freshman year, my entire freshman year, and then my sophomore year I was there for 1 semester. So I ended up leaving Towson, not because it was a bad school or anything. I just left because I was like trying to take a break. Like, I wanted to take a break from school and kind of just figure out life and figure out if college was really for me. So I never went back to Towson. I still don't know if I want to go back, because Towson was a great school, but I don't want you guys to think I left because Towson was bad, because it wasn't. But every school has its pros and cons. Obviously, that's why I'm here to make this video and share with y'all those pros and cons. So yeah, that's pretty much a little bit about me. So let's go ahead and get right into these questions. The first category that we're going to be talking about is education. So the first question is, are the class sizes small? So it really just depends on your major, the type of class. All of it really depends. When you're a freshman, I know your first semester your advisor picks your classes for you, but after that you can start picking your classes starting from your second semester freshman year and then so on. So once you start picking your classes, you'll see how many spots are like in the class. So it might say like, let's just say for example 5 out of 5. That means there's only 5, it's only available for 5 students to take that class, if that makes sense. If it says like 4 out of 5, that means there's 1 spot left for the class. You'll learn all about that. Like, your advisors, hopefully you guys get good advisors, because I've had friends who had terrible advisors at Towson. I don't know what it is, and it's not just a Towson thing. Like, I've heard a lot of schools, and like a lot of my friends at other schools have terrible terrible advisors. I don't know what it is with these advisors, but I was very blessed to have a really good advisor. So your advisor will, like, if you get a good one, they should teach you all about like how to pick your classes and all those different things. But when it comes to the class sizes, it all depends on your major and the type of class. Some classes are really big and some classes are really small. So yeah, it just depends. The next question is, are the professors nice? Same thing, it really just depends on the professor. My best like advice to give y'all is to please use Rate My Professor. Like, it has helped me so much when picking professors. Like, it will tell you everything. And also, if you take a class and then you know you're finished with your class, please rate your professor, because I remember when I was in school and I was using Rate My Professor, there were some teachers who didn't have like any like updated reviews. Like their reviews were like so old, from like 2016. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you actually rate your professor after you take them, because it will be very helpful for the next student. Like I'm telling you, Rate My Professor is a game changer. It's super duper helpful. So please use it when picking out a class / professor, and after you actually take that class. So yeah, another thing I wanted to kind of like highlight. So at Towson, when you're okay, how do I say this? So at Towson, basically you have to take prereqs. Like most colleges, you have to take your prereqs. At Towson, they have like a list. I'm gonna try to like put some screenshots on the screen. So here's a better look at their website of the core classes. So you could just Google Towson core classes, and this is what they're going to take you to. They have two versions. You can either click right here, which is the PDF version, and this basically just has each core. So I told you guys it's 14 core classes, so 1 through 14 down here, and there's a bunch of different like classes within these cores. So there's like a different type of art, a different type of math, you know, things like that. And you can just like as you complete them, you can maybe like write on the side like, oh, that I did this, but this is each category for the core classes. And you have to take 14 different cores. So you can look at the PDF version, or if you're wondering what classes are within that core, you can just scroll down and it will tell you right here. So for example, core 1 is Towson Seminar, which is basically like a writing class, and here are the two options that they have. And then they have like English. Here are your English options. These are all of your math options, all of your creative development class options. See, like there's lots of options within each core. So yep, you can always look on here, but I just wanted to give you guys a better look. Hopefully that was helpful. But Towson has like a list of core classes that you have to take. So they're basically called like core and then the number. I think that Towson requires each student to take 14 core classes in a different category. So every student has to take a science, every student has to take a math, an English, a history, a art, just like that. So there's 14 different cores that you have to pick a class from, and in order to graduate. So you have to complete your cores. I don't know, I think they do it just so that it allows students to kind of branch out into other classes and, you know, other things like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to put like some screenshots on the screen so you guys can know about that. But make sure like when you're picking your classes, you're not only completing your major requirement classes but your core classes as well, because you have to get both of those done. You can always like go online and search your major on Towson's website, and it will give you a 4-year plan. It will basically like tell you how to write out your 4-year plan to make sure that you're completing your major requirement classes and your core classes, which is very, very helpful. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna show you guys an example. So you're just gonna want to go to Towson's website and search any major. I'm gonna do a nursing major, and what you're gonna want to look for is their 4-year plan study plan. So basically that's just going to show you an example of the classes that you can take for all 4 years to make sure that you're completing both your core requirement classes and your major classes. So here you can see for a nursing major for freshman year, the first semester, here is an example of what classes they have like set up for you basically. Now you don't have to follow this list, but it is just an example just to kind of keep you on the right track, especially if you don't have like a helpful advisor. But yeah, so like they have Towson Seminar or English, and then like a core 2, your bio, and a core 7, which is core 7 I think. Yeah, but yeah, this is very helpful and you guys should definitely look into that before going. But make sure you guys are doing a lot of research and checking out all those things, because you don't want to be completing all your major classes, but you didn't do any of your core classes, okay? So make sure you know that, and make sure you guys are like checking online, talking to your advisor. So yeah, all right. The next topic that we're gonna be talking about is the living and the dorms. So the first question is, are you able to get a single dorm as a freshman? I know a lot of freshmen be wondering this, and honestly the simple answer to this question is no, which really sucks. I'm sorry y'all, I know it really sucks, but honestly as a freshman the only really way to get a single is if you have like a medical, you know, history where you really need a single. Two, if your roommate like never shows up, you can get lucky and have your entire dorm room to yourself. Or I think if you're in a sport, I'm not 100% sure, that I might be wrong on, but yeah, like I know like if you're on the basketball, actually I don't know, don't quote me on anything, but it could be possible if you're in like a sport at the school, you could end up like with a single, like living in like the apartment style rooms, like apartment style dorms, but like having your own room but sharing the whole suite or apartment with your teammates. So I don't know, but honestly the first two I know for sure you can't really get a single unless you have like medical history, or if you just get lucky and your roommate never shows up. So yeah, but I think having a roommate is really good, especially for people who are going to Towson and don't have any friends. You can get you a roommate, it'll help you make a friend, or if you have friends you can roommate with a friend, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's really the simple answer to that question. But when I know as a freshman they pick your dorm for you, but when you go into your next year you're able to pick your dorms. But how Towson does it is you're able to pick your dorm based off of your credits. So the more credits you have, the quicker you're able to pick your dorm, if that makes sense. So towards the end of the year Towson will come out with like a list of the dates where you can choose your dorm, but it's for whatever credits you have. For example, so let's just say for example you have, let's just say you have 30 credits, right? And you get to pick on the first day they open up the website to choose your dorm. But let's just say you have only 12 credits, then you're going to be on the last day to pick. So you know, it just really depends. So you have to really, you know, keep an eye out for that towards the end of the year, and things like that, I guess. But I know, like, for example, like me, when after my freshman year, I was like one of the last people to pick a dorm, but I got lucky with a single, which I'll explain that in a second. But I was actually really one of the last people, because freshman year, you know, it's your first year taking college classes, but there are some freshmen that come into college with already college credits because they did things like dual enrollment and stuff. So they can pick their dorm before you because they already have their dual enrollment credits plus the credits they took this year. So it's a whole lot of, but yeah. But as a freshman, it's gonna be like really hard for you to get a single. If you're wondering how I got a single because of medical history. So I just used that to apply for a single. If you have medical history, you're gonna want to reach out to the accommodations and disability department at Towson. They have an email. They also have an application that you fill out, and you just basically write out your medical history. You have to send in actual, like, a doctor's note, actual medical like documents, so they know that you're not lying, and then they will either approve you or not approve you. So that was how I was able to get my single. I have a whole video on my channel where you guys can see me moving into my dorm. So if you guys are curious as to what it looks like. I never did a dorm tour though of my room because I was supposed to film it with my friends, but I'm gonna put a clip of what my dorm actually looked like when I had a single. like what my dorm looked like. I lived in Res Towers. I lived on the 10th floor, y'all. I was on like one of the highest floors, and them elevators sometimes would be breaking, so it would suck having to wait forever for the elevator, and nobody's taking the stairs when you live that high up. But yeah, that's pretty much what my dorm looked like. I did share a bathroom with like my suite mates, so I shared a bathroom with like about, I would say I shared a bathroom with about 8 other girls. And it is a co-ed building too. And yeah. All right, so the next question we're gonna answer is, what are the worst and best dorms at Towson? Honestly, Towson has really good living in my opinion. I feel like what makes the living hard is who your roommate is. Like, honestly, the living at Towson is not bad. It's just who you may possibly live with. So make sure, if you are going into the school year and you're going to be going into Towson with friends, make sure you choose wisely who you want your roommate to be. And if you are not able to choose who your roommate is, then I hope you get someone who's not dirty, who's not, you know, mean or anything like that, because that is kind of what makes up the living at Towson, is like who your roommate is. Because the buildings are really not that bad. It just could be you get a nice building but you're stuck with someone who's like extremely dirty. But honestly, when it comes to buildings, I lived in Barton, which is the premium housing in West Village. Freshmen can live there. There's 4 different premium housing buildings for freshmen at Towson, and I lived in Barton. I know Douglas is one of them, Paca and Tubman, I think. I think that's all the names of them. But basically, really nice. You get a room with you and your roommate. Y'all get a sink that's outside of the bathroom, and then you guys get your own private bathroom that you and your roommate share, which is really great that you don't have to share with anybody else. I have a whole dorm tour video on that style of room as well. I will link it down below so y'all can check it out. Y'all can see how my room looked like when I had a roommate, and it was pretty cool, and I didn't have like a dirty roommate or anything like that, so it was pretty chill. So I would say those buildings are pretty nice. They have Marshall, I think Marshall and another one. Those are like apartment style buildings. Those are really nice, but it's gonna be really hard for a freshman to live there. I don't think any freshmen really live there. But for freshmen, Res Towers is a good one. I like Res because it's an easy way to make friends. I feel like it's such a nice like community in that building, so it's an easy way to make friends. That's where I live. The rooms are really small for 2 people. Like the 2 people dorm rooms, they are really small. Keep that in mind. But they're very clean, very nice, and a great building to make friends. The worst dorms, I would say, at Towson, this is just me personally. I haven't lived in these dorms, but I've seen these dorms. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of Pretty Men in Scarborough and then Towers. Those are probably like my least favorite dorms on campus. Towers, I like Towers because Towers, the rooms are like really like long and big, so there's a lot of space, and you get a bathroom, like a private bathroom that I think you only share with like 3 other people, I think. Like you and your roommate, and then there's like someone next to y'all, and then like them 2, they share it. But it's like very old. It looks like a jail inside, in my opinion. Like, it's not my favorite. And then Pretty Men in Scarborough would have to be like worse than those buildings because it's just like super old. I don't think it has like any type of like updated anything in there. Like nothing is like updated in those buildings. But I had a friend that lived there, and even though it wasn't my favorite dorm, I was always at her dorm. Like I was always there. But yeah, in my opinion, I would feel like I would say those would have to be some of the like least favorite dorms at Towson. So yeah, but I hope all y'all get some good dorms. You know, I hope y'all, my biggest thing for y'all is I hope y'all get a good roommate, because I've heard some roommate stories, okay? And if you're scared about having a roommate, try not to go into college being scared. Like, just try to go in open-minded, and don't have your guard up too much, but just beware, you know. Just make sure you're watching, you know, keeping an eye out. Okay. All right, so next category is going to be food and dining. So the first question first topic in the food and dining that we're gonna be talking about is the meal plan. How does the meal plan work? So Towson's meal plan, I think you have like 4 options in the meal plan. You can get a 10 meal plan, a 14, a 19, and then an unlimited. I think those are the 4 options for meal plans. If I'm wrong, I will put a screenshot on the screen somewhere. But basically how it works is I had a 10 meal plan, so that would cover 2 meals a day except for weekends. You can still use it on the weekends, but like how I calculate it in my brain is 2 meals a day except for weekends, because if you use it on the weekends, you might be a little short coming up throughout the week, but you can use it anytime. On Towson's campus, there's a lot of dining options and dining halls. And the dining halls itself, you swipe and then you go in and it's all you can eat. You can't take food out, but I used to take like Tupperware into the dining halls and like fill my Tupperware up and take it back to my room. But you can't really like take food out for real. I keep saying a lot, like girl. But basically, the dining halls are all you can eat, and it's 1 swipe. So if I have 10 meals and I go to a dining hall and I swipe, now I only have 9 meals left to use, if that makes sense, if that's like easy to explain. And then anything that is not a dining hall, so places like Chick-fil-A, Dunkin' Donuts that we have on campus, Panda Express, we have like a sushi place that's like to go. Like most of the things that are inside of the Union building are like 2 swipes, so you would swipe twice. Anything over like $6 is considered 2 swipes. But to make it easier to remember, anything that is not a dining hall will most likely be 2 swipes. Like literally will most likely be 2 swipes. There's like, so like everything in the Union is like gonna cost you at least 2 swipes. So if you have a 10 meal plan and you think you're gonna eat Chick-fil-A every day, just know you are literally not gonna have no meals past like 2 or 3 days. I'm telling you right now, because you're gonna be swiping your car about 4 times. That's eating at Chick-fil-A twice, like in a day. Like, yeah. Anyway, so that's how the meal plans work pretty much. If that was, I hope that made sense. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, the next question is, what are the eating options like at Towson, which I kind of just explained. So there's a bunch of dining halls. There's one in, I think there's Newell, Glen, West Village. I think those are the 3 dining halls that are all you can eat, and the food is pretty good. I can't even complain. The food is pretty good. They have things like, they have like regular things like burgers, chicken nuggets. I know West Village, they have like an omelet station, which is like my personal favorite. I love the omelet station. It's so good, so good. They have like regular breakfast food, lunch food, dinner food. They be having all types of things. Sometimes they'll have like chicken, steak, pasta. Like they be having everything. And then things that are like not dining halls, like I said, we have a Chick-fil-A. But let me tell y'all, that Chick-fil-A line be long every day. Like keep that in mind. Don't think you're gonna be eating Chick-fil-A every day, because I promise you, you're not gonna want to stand in that line. You will be standing in that Chick-fil-A line for at least 45 minutes. I can tell you that right now. Like, don't go to Chick-fil-A before you have a class. Like, and if you do, you need to be there at least an hour early, because you will be waiting a long time. Everybody goes to Chick-fil-A. The line is super duper long. So, and I love Chick-fil-A, but I did not eat it. Like, I hardly ate it in college because I never wanted to wait in the line. Like, the line be so long. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. So but there's Chick-fil-A, there's Dunkin', there's like a sushi spot, a pizza spot, What else do we have? We have like a bunch of cafes, which is pretty cool. We have like cafes in some of the academic buildings. There's a cafe in the science building. There's a cafe in this building called LA, which is the liberal arts building. There's a cafe in Hawkins building, which is like, I think one of the buildings where they teach a lot of the education classes and I think some nursing classes, I'm not sure. But Towson's actually building a whole new health center, health building, so I think that's where they're gonna be moving all of the like nursing classes and things like that. And I'm sure that building will have a cafe as well. So that's pretty cool because you can be going to class in LA and then you might have some extra time and you're like, let me go get a smoothie or let me go get a coffee or something. So that's pretty cool. But if you don't like the food on campus, Towson is surrounded by so many food options off campus. There's like a little strip, a lot of people walk it, so there's a lot of like restaurants and quick little places like Subway and there's a lot of food options outside of campus. Can you use your meal plan there? No, obviously, because it's off campus. But there's a lot of food options there. Some of the places even stay open pretty late. So yeah, there's plenty of things to eat. Don't think y'all not gonna eat, because there's plenty of things for y'all to eat while y'all are there. And there's a whole mall, you know, they got the food court, so don't worry, y'all not gonna be starving. Y'all definitely not gonna be starving. Okay. Next topic, which is it the last topic? Hold on. Yes, this is the last topic that we're gonna be talking about, which is parties and activities. So first question is, are the parties fun? Are there even parties at Towson, and are they fun? Yes, it's college, obviously there's parties. Towson itself, it is more, I personally feel like Towson is more of like a bar type of like school. I feel like students more so go to like the bar than they go to parties. There's a lot, like Towson is surrounded by lots of bars. There's like a Green Turtle, there's this one called the Wreck. There's all types of little bars over there. There's all types of bars. So but when it comes to parties, there really isn't a lot of parties on campus. A lot of the parties are off campus, so you'll most likely find a lot of the parties out in Baltimore, and you'll see a lot of students from other schools, because a lot of those party promoters, they promote the parties and they will put like Towson, Morgan, UMBC, Coppin, they'll put like all the schools that are close by each other on the flyer so that everybody comes out. And most of those parties are in the city. They're pretty fun, but I feel like freshman year, like they were really fun, but then my sophomore year I started noticing that these party promoters were charging like crazy prices for these parties. Like it was insane, like $40 for a party. Freshmen, let me tell y'all, do not pay $40 freaking for a party. Honestly, don't pay more than $15 for a party. I feel like even 15, like 15, 20 is like the max, like the max. But they really shouldn't, parties should either be free or they should be at least $5 to $10. Like they really should not be no more than that. But don't be paying $40 for a party. Like don't think that's normal, because it's not. Like they will literally like let somebody in for $5 and then they'll see a group of people that probably look like freshmen and then tell you that it's $40 when it's really not. They just trying to run your pockets, and don't fall for it. Please don't fall for it. But the parties be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they get shut down, sometimes you get there and it's lame. Like it just depends. Parties are very hit or miss. Like I can't even lie to y'all, they are very hit or miss. So you just have to see. But make sure you're saving up your money this summer, because your money will get eaten up, like between food and then like Ubers to and from parties, and then probably paying to get into a party. You better have some money. Like you better have some money, okay? But I've been to a lot of good parties, I can't even lie. Like I've been to a lot of really cool ones. And there's also like a lot of like 18 plus clubs that you can go to as well that are pretty cool. So yeah, I would say the parties are fun, but they are very hit or miss, because not all of them are fun. I can't lie to y'all. So yep. And then the next question, oh, and also too, like I was saying, most of the parties are like in the city. Towson doesn't really have a lot of parties like on campus. Like sometimes people will have like little events in their dorms and stuff, but it's not really often unless you are like in a friend group and your friend group decides to have something. But like actual like hosted parties on campus, it's not that common, to be honest. All right, so last question for the parties and activities is, what are the campus activities like? So homecoming at Towson, in my opinion, is not that fun. I feel like it's really boring, it's really dry, there's not much going on. They have like activities and events, but people, it be dry. Like they just be dry, like for real, they be dry. But Towson does this event at the end of the year every year called Tiger Fest, and it's basically just a concert. They have a celebrity come out and perform, and it's really fun. My freshman year they had Rico Nasty, which was so fun. She signed my vinyl, y'all. I had brought one of my vinyls that I had of her, and she signed it. I was so hype. I was so hype. And then this year actually, they had Lil Yachty this year, but I didn't go. So, and it's really fun. Like the concerts are really fun. They're super cheap. Like the tickets be like super cheap. It's not that expensive, and it's a really fun event. So I recommend everybody go to that. But it's Towson, you just have to, I would recommend as a freshman you follow like some of the Towson like pages, like organization and club pages. Like for example, there's a lot of different modeling organizations and clubs at Towson, and they do a lot of like modeling shows. So I would recommend following their pages. I know like Models of Distinction is one. You make sure you guys follow like some of those pages so that y'all can know when they're having like events and fashion shows. There's this one organization at Towson called, hold on, because I don't want to get the name wrong. But okay, it's called Towson ADC, and it's an African club at Towson, and they be lit. Like they be having a lot of really fun and cool events. And they have this really big event called Explosion, and it's like a really big thing at Towson. Everyone dresses up. I call it like the Met Gala of Towson. Like it's like the Met Gala and like prom mixed together. Like everyone dresses up really nice, and then they have like performances. They have like dancing, modeling, singing, music. It's like a big event. So that's like one thing that's like really big at Towson. is like, like when they sell their tickets for Explosion, like people be like in line, like their tickets actually be like selling out for this event. Like it's a big event at Towson. But Towson has a lot of like good events. Some events are not the best, but you just have to make sure you're like, you know, following these pages and staying tuned and, you know, making friends, because if you're just sitting in your dorm all day, you ain't gonna never know when these events are. I'm telling you, because my freshman year I didn't know what Explosion was, and when I had seen everyone go and I knew what it was, I was like, dang, this looked really fun. Like this looks so fun. Like I wish I knew about this. But that's pretty much it, y'all. That is everything that I talked about. That's it. Like I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you guys want to ask me more questions, just leave them in the description box and I'll either just respond or maybe I'll do a part 2. But I hope this video helped any of you guys who are planning on going to Towson. And yeah, I hope this video helped y'all, because I know when I was going to Towson, I was YouTubing like everything because I wanted to know everything. So I hope this video was super helpful for y'all, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel because I will be posting more. I for real am going to be consistent, y'all, because I'm not playing this year. Like I'm going to be consistent. But make sure you guys subscribe, like this video, share it with a friend, share it with somebody that you know is going to Towson, thinking about going to Towson, all that good stuff. And that's pretty much it for the video. I will see you guys in my next video, and that's it. Bye, y'all.